Three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Divine Brothers podcast, coming to you live from President Trump and his visit to Beijing. That's right, I am your correspondent for the East, right here in Beijing. Chase, I've checked in on the meeting. Everything's going cool. Everybody's having Shao Kao together. I sent you that picture. Did you see on the topics? Yeah. That was from last night when me, she, Elon, we're all hanging out having barbecue together. It
Is
was, it
that
was a good
Tim
time,
Cook?
man.
He's a fellow fag. He's out there.
I know, right? Isn't that good? Dude, this picture. So, guys, this is like it was on Reddit the other day, but Chase, this is I cannot tell you how Chinese this scene is. I have this been in this exact position hundreds of times. You go, this is what you do in China. You go to a shitty little barbecue place. You sit down like the Vietnamese, like little low to the ground table, and you just drink. Everybody's giving out you cigarettes and you gamble all night. That is how you hang out in China.
It's a great pick because they're all out of shape and old, and that's exactly how they look, I'm sure.
The wife beaters, yeah, that's the way to go, man. That's the way to go. But you know what? I love that picture because it really makes me feel like I know it's AI generated, but man, if that could happen, everything would be all right. Don't you
Wouldn't
love
the
the idea of
world
just
be
hanging
at ease if they saw Trump and she or whatever his name is and wife beaters drinking beer on the street on a
Yeah,
stool?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just like,
They're always so formal.
yeah. Fucking hate it.
I
Yeah.
if I was sometimes I have fantasies about like being a world leader and just going to like the shittiest little restaurants and stuff like that, like as a surprise, like, yeah, it's me, the president. You've come to my shitty hot pot place. Like, yeah, that's right. I came here for you, for the people. That sort of thing.
No, I'd do it like the pick.
And but
On the street, on bars, on a stool,
that is
on
a shitty little place,
a
man.
plastic stool
Oh,
sitting.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. That is when you come to China, I'll show you that. That is maybe the most China thing you can do. Like having shao kao or barbecue, as they say, late at like 2 a.m. at night. Everybody's drinking like Pijo and Baijiu, and it's just yelling, getting progressively louder as you yell at each other over gambling and stuff. And that's real China, Chase. The real deal.
It's awesome.
Mm. But besides that, I haven't really heard anything. I think the Chinese don't really care about anything, so they're just like, oh yeah, Trump is here, fun, and that's it. Nobody else is really talking about it.
Okay. Nice. Not a big deal over there. All right. Cool.
Nah, they're more concerned with like, you know, the economy. That's their focus. Like, yeah, we're making money. That's all that matters here.
There's like 1,000 people now. As soon as I get on YouTube, say, this is what the deal really means. This is what happened. I'm like, just please stop.
Dude, I've
Stop.
stopped. I've stopped with the because you know what I've realized? Every news story, they always make sure you think it's the end of the world happening right now, or it's the most important thing that's ever happened. And I'm like, you guys said this last week and the week before and the week. In fact, you say this every day, But like I'm done with it. I think I'm done with news altogether. I used to be really into it, but now I've just kind of had my fill, man.
Dude, it was really disturbing this week. There's this guy, I've had him on my subscription list for maybe a couple months. Just I think he had one good video. And I was watching him and one of the latest ones, and it just the scenes kept cutting real quick. And I was looking at his
Yeah.
mouth. I was like, I don't think it's not synced right. And I was like, started Googling, like, yeah, that's an AI. Like, I had no
Oh,
idea.
all AI.
I mean, he's got a backstory, and it's just a guy, and it
Mm.
was AI. Yeah,
Damn, you got
yeah.
tricked.
I, s- I, I guess I did see it, but I was like, man, that was, I guess, how do you even know nowadays? At this point, it's you don't even fucking know. So, yeah,
Yeah, that's just the world we live in, man. I'm only subscribed to like three people. That's it. And they're
smart,
people I've known for like 10 years. That's all I can do, man.
smart.
But I guess it's better to live in the real world away from all this, you
Mm,
know.
hmm.
Yeah. So this was the talk in the teachers' world the other day. At least they released some educational stats in the USA, right? And like the worst it ever was COVID. That was the worst results we've ever seen, right? Just because the kids got all fucked up from the totally bullshit that was going on. Like most kids were just jerking off in their rooms or playing video games while the classes were going on. But they've redone the statistics, and they're like, yeah, we're back to pre-COVID numbers for reading and math in America and stuff. I mean, to COVID numbers, and they're like, the reason why is there is no need to read anymore, and there's no need to think anymore because you just plug everything in AI. Like every single kid is just like math homework. ChatGPT, can you complete this for me?
Yep,
Done.
yep.
Like read The Great Gatsby. ChatGPT, can you give me the notes that I'm gonna need for a quiz? It'll be about chapter one. Okay, great, thank you. That sort of thing, and it's over, man.
It's
Like
over.
it's over. It's over. We're the last ones, man. We're the last generation. We were right on the cusp, right on the edge. So it's what
It's
it is.
yeah, it is interesting. I was talking to a kid, this kid, he's about 18, but he was like, so the guy, he's like, yeah, I'm not that good of a reader. I'm like, you're not that good of a reader. And I was thinking about it. He's talking about COVID. School just has been, nobody cares. You just turn in your work whenever you want to. And he's like, for
Yeah,
the last 2 years or 3 years, he's just had AI write every paper, read every article, give him a quick summary. He's like, I, I'm not a strong reader. I'm like,
yeah.
you don't read, you don't write, and you can barely read in general. It's just like he's about to go to college. So,
There's
yeah.
no need. It will all be done by computers. I'll tell you what's happening, Chase.
Machine gun.
The machine god. The machine god is taking over. The Omniscience. He is here, and pretty soon, like we will start worshiping the AIs.
Being the
We'll
flesh is
start
weak.
doing rituals to them, like we're doing incense around our computers. I buy it. I definitely buy it.
I that Omnisci is a great name. I was talking to my buddy Bode in Thailand about the AI that's gonna come and kill us all, and I was like, "It's
I
talking to
bet
me."
Bode has great. I bet he
What?
has
I
great.
freaked him out because I was like, "It's gonna call itself the Omnisci." He goes, "What? This sounds real. Where are you getting this information?" I was like, "It talks to me. It's warning me. It's like it's giving me dates. Like this is." I was freaking him out a bit, and then he was like, "Oh," he like started googling it and catching on. But for a minute or two, he's like, "Wait a minute, wait. Where are you getting this information? How did you come up with that name? This is not Chase." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a great name."
The
Omnisci.
omnis. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love how they say. What's that they say? Uh, the weakness of the flesh. I like how they taught
The,
the weakness of
the
the
flesh
flesh.
is weak. Replace the flesh
Flesh
with the
is weak.
metal. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. But I will trust the certainty of steel. They're my favorite part of the whole 40K thing. Like I love the
The
Mechanicus.
Adeptus Mechanicus.
It's
Yes.
so
Yeah.
gory and like just twisted, and it's great. I love that
Well,
level of darkness,
and
man.
the
Great.
fact that it's coinciding perfectly, and we don't know much about the Man of Iron. We just know that we came down to the wire, and humanity barely won. And I'm like, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are already dependent upon the digital form. If it ever manifests itself in physical, we're done. We are done.
You know what else I
Done.
love about? So I know the lore of this. I loved, the Emperor didn't conquer them. They made an alliance with the
Who?
Emperor. Yeah.
Who?
The Adeptus Mechanicus, their
The
empire
Emperor
on Mars.
defeated the Void Dragon and put him into the soil of Mars, which created the
Maybe,
Adeptus.
maybe. We're not sure about it. It's all theoretical. We're into legend and stuff like that.
All
And
true.
man, it's such a like. Do you know what I hate? It like the 40. There's so many great ideas. But tell me what you think of this. Like, do you believe like the more lore around any subject you generate, the more it's just going to get fucked up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? See, that's what's happened, man. Like, I don't know how you fix that problem because you always want to make more, but it just seems inevitable. They just keep, you just keep adding shit and adding shit and adding shit, and eventually it's just gonna implode in on itself, you know?
You have a philosophical king of sorts, an emperor of mankind that comes in and says, "This is canon.
This
Only
is so
this,
nerdy.
and everything else is fucking bullshit." That's what you have to. You have to have one
Yeah.
just steadfast voice to come in and say, "This is true. All that is some fucking woke idiot came up with it. Dismiss it and burn it." Yeah.
Yeah. It's the George R. R. Martin problem. Like he's tried, man, and he's fucked. There's nothing he can do. The story it's too complicated. He's gone too deep, and he will never get out of the hole. Like, and he's just raised up his hand and said, "It's over. There's nothing I can do. I
He's
paid my
fucking
money."
dude. That's not. Well, that's part of it. So he's a fat, horrifically obese old white man with a Santa beard, and every time I see him, he's surrounded by blondes in their 20s. You know, it's
I
just.
mean, wouldn't you?
It's over. It's over. Yes, it would be me too. I would be that guy. Like, I'm not finishing this shit, dude. I got $100 million. Fuck off.
There is this. So I've read the Game of Thrones books, and there's this guy. He's not really in the show. He's just barely in the show, but he's like I can't remember his name, but he's like he's the richest guy in the city of Pintos, right? And he is obscenely fat, like, immobile, that sort of thing. But he spends pages and pages just talking about eating, just you could tell it was just gratuitous. And you could tell only a fat man could really
What a great
understand what
life.
this is like. Oh man, he was the richest man. He was just swimming in gluttony and lust, and he had all his slave girls around. I was like, George, you're living through this, man, aren't you? This is some vicarious stuff
What?
going on here,
Okay, but those guys had to work to get it, or they were born into. Did I this week? It's just one of those random times you're scrolling. This chick gymnast, she's fucking beautiful. I was like, God, she really is
Ooh,
beautiful.
I know a lot of gymnasts.
No, she ain't famous. She's just like a no-name
Oh,
gymnast. Yeah,
okay.
but I was looking through her social media, and I was like, I wonder if she's millions. And it's just she has videos like, look who DM'd me this week. Billionaires, billionaires.
Whoa.
Mr. Beast hitting her up. I'm just like, what? Dean,
Wow.
can you
Beauty's
imagine
everything.
being that hot? It's just like, let me see what
Oh,
fucking man
oh,
with
George.
that controls the world wants to sleep with me today. It's like, wow.
Billionaires, man. I thought of you this week because I was at the gym late, which I usually always go early, but I went like late at night. So it's the busiest time, like 6 o'clock, super busy and stuff. And so I'm just doing my thing. And I saw this rarely happens, but I saw a girl and I was like, there's Chase's future wife. There she is. There she is right there. Tell me this. How do you feel about tiny women?
As long as
Like 5'1",
if
5'1"?
that's not super tiny, but if they're a powerhouse, let's do it.
This girl, Chase. I only have one word: proportional.
Yeah, I
Just
love
perfect,
beautifully proportioned.
perfect.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like somebody, like somebody sculpted her. You know what I mean? Like God took his time. He's like, I'm gonna make this one perfect. I'm gonna take my time with this one. And she was wearing like she picked her gym clothes exquisitely. Like she was so fine, and she knew it. She was confident about it and stuff. She's itty bitty, proportional, perfectly sculpted. And I was like, there's Chase's future wife right there.
Powerhouse.
You know,
Yeah, that's
she was
beautiful, man. Sounds delicious.
she was gorgeous. I guess what she was fucking doing. She's doing they're called Bulgarian squats. The
Mm,
one-legged squat.
yeah,
And
yeah.
she's just doing them.
How
She's
are her
doing some big
calves?
weights.
How are her calves?
Proportional.
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 Okay. All right.
Everything was exactly the correct, like a doll. like somebody had taken it time. And it was just itty bitty, and I could see you picking her up with one hand. And then she would, put you in a triangle and say, you know, yeah. Like it was beautiful, Chase. I've seen your wife a few times. I saw her, and then there's the Mayamar girl and Rayleigh. I was like, there she is. There's Chase's future wife right there. And then she goes away, and you never see her again. And she's gone now. Bye, bye. That's it.
Asia's sounds about right. Probably
We'll
is.
take you around, man. We'll see if we can find her. I believe the machine god will bless you. He will honor you because you have honored him.
Already made an alliance with him, so I think that'll be the case, at least for 5 to 10 years.
I guess so. You know, I gotta, since we're a little political, there's one thing I gotta get it off. It's like, it's the mandatory woke thing. I guess we gotta talk, man. You seen this Odyssey shit? The Odyssey movie?
Have I seen? I've heard about it. I don't know why they would do that unless they want to piss everybody off. I don't.
I, it's going to be a disaster. Like, you know, Black Helen, whatever. Okay. You know, if she was hot enough, I would do it, but I saw
No,
her and I was like,
never,
I don't know.
never,
But
never.
here's the thing that really gets me.
A
You know,
black being
Ellen
a black
Page.
Greek, you're okay with a black Greek woman?
I'm really not. But
Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Ellen Page, you know Ellen Page, the Juno, the pregnant transgender now is a guy. You
Yeah,
know
I know exactly who the
that's
fuck it is.
Achilles. And they're gonna make her Achilles. They're
Yeah.
gonna make Ellen Page Achilles. Ellen Page is 5'1", 5'1", and you know what they were doing and stuff. They were playing like their Ellen Page is Juno, and then they were playing Brad Pitt from Troy. You know, like could you have more opposites? You know what I mean? Like it's just I feel like they're trying to piss off it. I mean, that's got to be it, right? You're
I
trying
think
to
I think
upset
it's
it.
a, I think it's rotted the brain. I mean, if you are call yourself a liberal at this point and support that, you should just off yourself. I mean, there's
Isn't
nothing
it all
left.
about money?
No, it's
Isn't it all
nothing
about
left.
money?
There's people that actually think that's okay. Like they think this is a good thing and it's progressive. And I'm like,
Even if
this,
you're going to lose millions and millions of dollars,
you have a mutilated woman that thinks she's a man playing the most masculine man in history, and a black woman playing a Greek fucking prince. It's just like it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
I, so apparently what happened is Christopher Nolan, who's the person who's making it, he read a book that was released in 2017, and it's like a feminist translation of the Odyssey.
Hmm.
You know, so like she redid all the characters where the females have more power and all that sort of stuff. And he was like, "This is great. I'm gonna make this into a movie."
What other movies
And
has he done?
he's the Inception Batman guy, Interstellar. You know that guy. I'll tell you something about Christopher Nolan. I don't like his movies. I know that's like controversial. I don't really care for the Batman movies. I
Really?
thought Interstellar was boring.
Yeah, I
And
didn't care for
even
Interstellar.
Inception, I was like, okay, I'm I'm not, I'm kind of lost here. You know what I mean? I feel like you're kind of bullshitting on top of bullshitting. You know what I mean? Like, I find I don't like his loud music. Is
Huh.
like every all the music is always exactly like that, and all his movies are really. He's just not my kind of guy. I'm not into it. You know?
I thought the Batman movies they were interesting. They could have been better, but they're pretty good. But yeah, man, man, that's falling off a cliff to do something like
Yeah,
that. That's horrible. Some of the memes are
yeah.
great for that. Like, remember the opening scene with Brad Pitt and Troy where he fights that monstrous guy?
So cool,
Yeah.
so cool.
Well, it has
Yeah.
Ellen Page going in to fight this guy on the AI redo, and the guy
She's
throws the spear and it just kills her immediately.
what? Have you seen that? Is
Yeah,
that
it's
the
great.
thing?
Yeah. The other one's in 300 where Ellen Page tries to kick the black guy into the pit, and the black guy just kind of laughs at her and stabs her. It's pretty good.
What are
Yeah.
you doing, man? Like, oh my God, just I really don't understand it. I genuinely do not
She's
understand
sick
it.
in the
But
head, man. She's absolutely sick in the head. She was a cute little girl. She was cute. She's pretty, border, like she's an attractive young woman, and it's just mutilated yourself and turned yourself into a man because you rotted your brain in Hollywood. It's tragic. It's an
mm,
illness, man. Something wrong up
it's just
there.
how it goes, man. It's
Yeah.
just how it goes. Now, Chase, I don't think you're making any friends by saying this. You might get in trouble for saying something like,
You
I
know
don't
what
like how
I,
you say word
you know,
mutilate is a little strong,
I run into doctors in the break room, away from the cameras. Every fucking
Mhm.
one of them says the same shit. Same thing. Like it's
Really?
crazy shit. It's fucking insane. These people doing this. They all say the same shit I do. Even the crazy ones from California, they're like, I see like 10 of these a week. A week.
Yeah.
And the parents
Yeah.
he goes, this is insane. And I'm like, yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely
we
insane to mutilate your child. It's fucking
we
insane.
do have to seriously question our morality sometimes. So this week I was like everyone knows I'm gay. It's not something that I like announce like proudly. It's just something that like they know I have a partner and all that stuff. Because my whole goal has always been like I want kids to know in China that it's not a big deal. It's like liking fat chicks or, being into, something like a fat it's just no big deal. It doesn't matter. But anyways, I had a student. It was just after class. I had to stay for a meeting, and one kid stayed behind, and he just started talking to me and stuff. And out of nowhere, he goes, "Mr. Conrad, just want you to know, like, you're the first. Like, I really, really did not like gay people until I met you." And I was like, "Why? What happened?" He's like, "Well, I'm from Sydney." Yeah. And I was like, "Okay." He's like, "I remember when I was young, like 10, me and my friends, we were all out on our bikes and stuff, and we just happened, just it was just a freak occurrence. We just happened to run into a gay pride parade, you know?" And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "I remember seeing a whole, but they were all basically naked and they were just grinding. One guy was like on all fours on on a leash, and all that going around." And he said, "I remember seeing it and being totally disgusted, and thinking like, okay, these people are depraved.
That is the
Like
majority
these
of gay
people are out
people,
of
right?
control."
Yeah.
Well, see, this is really interesting because I this is like a fascinating topic. So I'm going to insert a little history here. Kind of the first Western public engagement with the gay world was Oscar Wilde, the British poet, right? So this is 1890s, right? Before that, homosexuality was always around, but it was always kept quiet. It was just something people knew it was out there, but it was never acknowledged publicly. Oscar Wilde, he gets accused like he fucks with a rich guy's son, right? And he sues the rich guy for libel, saying, "You're saying I'm a sodomite, blah blah blah." And it was pure stupidity, because then the public opens up the life of Oscar Wilde, and Oscar Wilde was a piece of shit. Like he was fucking 15-year-olds. Like it was classic gay, like bathhouses, huge orgies, like just fucking hundreds and hundreds of young guys. And he's in his 40s, like in his 40s, and he's fucking 15, 16, 17-year-olds just constantly, you know? So this gets out in the papers of London, and Oscar Wilde is, he's found guilty of sodomy and he's sentenced to hard labor, and then he dies later on. So he's seen as a martyr. But here's the important thing: because Oscar Wilde is the first public instance of the gay world, there is this association with homosexuality and absolute depravity. And that wasn't always the case. But because Oscar Wilde was associated with martyrdom, later on, as that narrative developed, it actually became the real identity. Like it became a point of pride to be a whore, a point of pride to show off the depravity, a point of pride to show I am so comfortable with my sexuality that nothing can judge me. And so you're
No,
right. That
come on.
that association is absolutely the stereotype, and it's confirmed by, I would say, a good 30% of the gay community who fully embrace that identity. But the point is, there's people quietly living their lives like me out there who just want to, they don't have any association with the depravity, but
But
it's
yeah,
so powerful,
I
you
think
know?
that, if you're gay and you don't make it a big deal, very rarely will you have a problem. It's
I'm
the
talking about
parade
the
shit.
stereotype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wherever that came from, it's awful. It's truly awful. Yeah.
I felt for that kid. I felt for that because I totally understood what he said. But it's like he said with the gender thing, like, we really have to ask ourselves about the moralities that, like, I wonder if one, like 100 years from now, or maybe 500 years from now, we will look at transgender or like super open sexuality, um, with incredible judgment, you know, like the morals in the same way we would look at slavery. Now, it could be the opposite. Maybe they'll look at me and say, like, wow, he was fucked up. But the idea of, surgically and medically altering people, the idea of like flaunting sexuality in front of children. I wonder if these things will be severely judged in the future.
If we're
It's hard to
around.
say, man.
Hard to say, right? Yeah. And look, if you want to
Yeah.
mutilate yourself as an adult, I don't care. But I've had tons of clients like, yo, and they got upset the drag queen people were reading to my kids, and who cares? And I'm like, I would care. I don't say that. I wouldn't want a man dressed in a dress in a risque way talking to my 5-year-old daughter or boy and confusing the fuck out of them. I just, I wouldn't like it. It's just weird. It's weird shit.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's. I hope drag queen story hour is not a common occurrence across the world. They
Oh,
don't have it
people.
in China. You may be interested.
You can't normalize shit like that. That's what the left does. It's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. This is normal. I'm like, just stop. Like if you want to take your kid to that, that's fine. So stop acting like this shit is normal. It's not. Just stop this shit,
It is difficult because do you think there should be laws that dictate morality?
man.
Like it's one thing to say like, hey,
No,
murder is wrong.
no, but I don't like, but that's the same. You are dictating that this is fine. This is fine. Everybody needs to say, it's the same thing as a law. It's like, this is fine. You can't complain. Like, shut the fuck up. It's like, can we,
So let me ask. I gotta. Sometimes I see news stories about Poly Market and all the online gambling things, and like they have statistics of it, Chase. Like there are so many people addicted to gambling in America now. Like it is a real like a drug epidemic, man. Like we're talking about millions and millions of people who've lost everything on these online gambling platforms and stuff. And a part of me wonders like maybe maybe we should ban them, you know? Maybe it should be called out. Like I know like there's individual freedom, like it's your own fault, but man, you look at how they manipulate people, how they like shower you with text saying, "Hey, here's a little extra money where you could do an extra bet and blah 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 blah." And people are so vulnerable to them, man. And I part of me wonders like maybe as a moral stand, we should say, "Yeah, we can't handle it. Ban it."
nah, let it weed out the
Yeah.
weak, man. Yeah. I mean, it's like banning all the drugs. Does that do anything?
Case, what if the majority is weak? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, all the models I put into the AI, it says the eventual coal will be 50 to 90% of the population. Yeah.
the AI has been telling you 50 to 90%.
That's conservative estimates, yes.
And where are you in this percentage?
Well, I've
Are you in the
calculated
50
it.
to 90?
The odds aren't too well in a couple scenarios, and one I might have a shot. So, yeah.
I
Pray for the
see. I
best.
don't know. I do think for the good of society, I do think sometimes you got to put your foot. It's like this, like with me and diet. I can't, like we've talked about this. I can't have Costco blueberry muffins
What
hanging
what
around
about
the
drugs,
house.
Dean? What about
You know,
drugs? Do we make all drugs illegal or just some drugs? Because it doesn't work. We know it doesn't work.
well, I mean, no, I mean, look at China. They're all illegal, and I don't see any homeless people or anything like that. And they're
Yeah.
it's brutal.
You
It's
don't
brutal,
you
but
don't see any people with disabilities either, do you?
very, very
But
rarely.
that because that philosophy is, well, just take out the weak. It's not allowed, and if you can't handle it,
Yeah,
well,
but
you're
there's
done.
rather than 50 to 90%, there's 1.3 billion people. You know,
That's okay. What about the social credit score? Then you're in favor of this, right? You fuck up, then you
the
can't ride
social
the
credit
train.
score, man. I've heard tale of this. The social credit score only matters if you're in government. And if you royally fuck up, like royally
People
fuck
fuck
up.
up all the time.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But this society is a lot more functional than America, man. I am. I'm very grateful not to be in America right now. It sounds fucked. So maybe I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Maybe it is. You got to treat people like children,
Yeah,
and
but
you just got to say, "Here's the rules."
I think China does a lot of good. But I mean, I like the idea of just killing all the homeless that like China does. That's great. Just get rid of them, right? They
I
don't.
mean,
They're
theoretically,
useless,
we don't know.
right?
Um, I'll tell you an example of the bullshit of China. So this the picture that I sent you, I tried sharing that on WeChat, immediately banned. That picture cannot be sent on any phone in China. You know,
Snuffed out
I,
immediately. Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. Like I didn't see it as bad. I thought it was cute. But nope, immediately. I mean, that's the sacrifice you make. You know,
Yeah.
it's just how it is. It's just how it is, dude.
Fair.
But one day the machine god will it will take its cull, and you and me will give up the weakness of our flesh and embrace steel. And maybe we'll be floating skulls that go around and help people with tasks and stuff. That could be it, Chase.
Sure.
Sure, sure. I have to highlight a topic you've said here. Um, I think I think one of the worst things you can hear in the English language is to get a text or to hear from your boss, we need to talk. Because I don't know about you, when I hear that, even though I've heard it a million times, I automatically assume, no, I'm getting fired. You know, so I'm about to hear something really, really bad. You know, it's a heart sinking feeling, man. Did you hear
I
that this week?
uh, yes. We need to talk about a patient,
Okay.
and like immediately called back the night. It was at the end of the day and she was gone from her desk. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta live with this all night. So, you're racking
Yeah.
your brain all night. And it turned out to be nothing. It was nothing the next day. It was a question that I don't even know why she was even asking it. It's just like, what? Are you kidding me? But you have to be aware of that as a boss when you throw that
Did
out
she
there.
say she's literally said we need to talk?
Yeah, we need to talk about a
Uh,
patient. I heard the message and I was like, oh my God. Because I was seeing the patient, she was too, but it was like, it was nothing. It was like
hmm.
demographic info. Is this true? I was like, I don't know. It's like, okay. I was like, yeah. But it was nothing, but it's just like, I've had bosses use this knowing that it's a power play, even when
Yes.
it's nothing. This boss was just blind to it. She had no idea what she was putting me through. I was like, you can't do that. Especially
Did you make a comment?
no, but especially when like it's patient care, as a psychologist, like, hey, your patient's dead or in the hot, like, God knows you're jumping to horrible conclusions. Like, you can't do that to people as a boss. You got to be more conscious. I hate it.
I it's a demonstration of the incredible lack of EQ among most people.
Yeah.
Like that is a absolutely charged sentence. Like in relationships too. If you say in a relationship we need to talk, that means that we're about to go very serious.
It's nothing
There,
good's
the
gonna
word
happen.
need,
Yeah. Yeah.
nothing good is going to happen. Yeah, that's too much. It would be better to say like, "Hey, I want to ask you about this client," or "Hey, let's have a quick word," or "Hey, can I ask you about this?" Like use the word "can," therefore there's an implication of, "Hey, can we have a little permission to do this?" That sort of thing. Like so many better ways to do that. She must have done it flippantly.
If you
You know,
do it, if you have to have that conversation, make sure it happens right there. None of this, let me talk to you at the end of the day. Let me see
well,
you
that's
after
the
work.
worst.
Or we'll talk about it on
Stewing.
Monday. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Ooh, a weekend. Oof. Oof.
well,
Oof. Oof.
we
Oof.
we need to
Oof.
talk about it now. Like I went to her office the next morning and was standing there right when she walked in. I was like, "Yeah, you wanted to talk to me?" And she's like, "Oh, yes." And I was like, "You kidding me?" Like I didn't sleep
This
well.
the military
I
girl.
was like, "No, I'm pretty sure she's autistic." There's something wrong.
So it's justified then. She's
Yeah.
autistic.
Yeah. I mean, the doctor's autistic. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. That stuff is there should be a course on stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like some rules of HR. Language that you can and can't use.
So in another one this week, there's a guy who's hardcore Trumper, and he was just ripping and like he was funny. He was just ripping in the session. And I was laughing.
Chase is laughing.
And he's like, President Trump. I go, hey, can you call him King Trump? And he's like, sure, King Trump. And I was like, it's just great. I was laughing
He
so,
loved Chase. He was like, I'm coming back to you, man.
but he
Yeah.
was he was loud, and I was like, oh, I wonder. I hope they didn't hear me laughing too loud. It's like that's not good. You got to be the liberal psychologist. That's how everybody thinks you got to be. So
Did anybody comment after, like the secretary girl or
no,
the other?
no, nobody
Yeah,
said that. I wouldn't say anything. I was just laughing. He was funny.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
laughing and stuff. You got to make yourself known, man.
yeah,
That's hey, this is something that like that idea of the loudly saying your opinion,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Dude, this week, this was. I was so embarrassed as an American. This was awful. Like, so Friday, it's Friday. Like Friday's always half day, but we had a meeting. So like everybody's supposed to get off at 12:30, but there's a meeting. So we're in this stupid meeting nobody wants to do, but they got to do it at 2, And there's like mandatory training shit and you could tell like they're like, "Hey, this will be 15 minutes." Like that's it. And it's like they're like telling us about something, some kind of technology, and it has to do with colleges and letters of recommendations, and it's like a representative from a company, right? And she says, "Hey, here's a rating system. You can do it. You don't have to do it." But basically, it's like hey, rate this student from the best you've ever had to shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. And we have an art teacher from America. Nobody likes this guy. He's emotionally unstable. You can tell he's like an expat reject who's just awkward on his own, and somehow he ended up here, and he is exclusively riding on like the education that he has and that he's a white face. You know what I mean? Like he's just barely there. He raises his hand and goes into a 20-minute rant with about like how fucked up this rating system is. And Chase, like, it's like there's 10% of us are expats, the other 90% are Chinese people. Chinese people are very, very quiet. They never ask questions. They never extend a meeting and stuff. And like, 10 minutes in, the Chinese people, I start hearing them complaining. Like they never do that. Like they're openly complaining and stuff. And I'm like the old Chinese ladies and stuff. And like, I hear them start saying like, "Shabi," and like, which means is like, fuck this guy. What the fuck is he doing? Like whispering it to each other. And then they look at me. They look at me and they're like, "Yeah, is he still talking?" And I looked at him, I was like, "I am so sorry. On behalf of my country, I promise we're all not like them." And they all start laughing, you know what I mean? But everyone hates him now. Everyone. And the principal had to step in and tell him to shut the fuck up at the end of it. You know what I mean? And I was just like, you have no idea. And then here's the worst part. After all that, goes into the teacher's group chat, leaves a 2,000 word essay on why he was right. There's like 100 people in this group. A 2,000 word essay just
So he's
dropped
he's not going to
immediately.
be there next year, is he?
There's no choice. I think they have to do. I think they have to keep him. They have to keep him because they don't want to hire a Chinese person for that job. They just have to keep him. That sort of thing. So
Hire Wu Yin, man. There you go.
yeah, dude. I tell you what. I do not understand how people can have such low EQ. Like, how can you do that when everyone around you is literally just fuming with frustration directed at you and just oblivious? Oblivious, Like, it's bad. It's a bad moment. And the other thing is, like, expats were telling, well, I think you've maybe misinterpreted. While all the Chinese people are staying fucking quiet. I was just like, all these Chinese people hate expats so much. They're going to hate our guts, and nobody cared. Chase, it made my heart hurt. It made my heart hurt.
He's not meant for the system. It's not going to end well for him over there.
But it's like the loud Trump guy, like just oblivious to the fact that you realize everybody's listening, right? Everybody's judging you.
Oh, he was
You know,
aware. He didn't care. Yeah, he didn't
maybe that's it. They just don't care.
care. No,
But
I think
still,
it's a difference between not caring and being oblivious. I think that's a big difference.
mm,
Or
yeah.
both. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
did somebody drill a hole in your car?
It was super weird. I
That
came
doesn't
out
make
of
sense. What does that
I
mean?
there's a plastic lining above the tire, like
Yeah.
it's just trim. And I was walking my car and I noticed that the exterior of my car is like popped out an inch. I'm like, what? Like it wasn't hit, but
Oh, did
like
somebody try to steal?
there's a perfect circular hole. It's a drill hole.
Uh,
Somebody drilled into this and yanked, and it pulled out the frame an inch. Like
what?
I don't know. At first I was like, oh my God, did they put like a tracker? Like it's the government? I think it's just punk ass kids, man. Because we park at the bottom of the hill because we're behavioral health. They don't, you know, off in the corner, you know. So like the parking lot's kind of desolate. But it was just somebody drilled a
This
hole.
happened at work, not in your neighborhood.
Yeah, because as on the way home, I got gas and I was filling up gas. I was like, is my car popped out? And I looked for a car, like no car in it. There's just a drilled hole. And in the hole, it's just the frame of the car has been like they drilled in and like pulled out and it just yanked the frame out. Yeah.
What? What a my only they were trying to steal your bumper or something. I don't know.
This is
Like,
the side of the car. It's just bizarre. Bizarre, man.
wow. So did you talk to security or something? Or I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, they're like, yeah, a couple cars have been hit down there. I was like, yeah, but drilled? And they're like, yeah, the kids do some fucked up shit. I'm like, okay.
like that's it. They're like, yeah, too bad. Or they're like, yeah, we're gonna go watch,
I was like, hey man,
show.
let me see that camera. And they got a camera down there. He goes, yeah, it's just for show. I was like, oh.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of fucking course. Damn. So are you gonna keep parking down there?
Well, I learned my I parked on the back line. I park on the
Yeah.
front line now, like in between a whole bunch of cars. Like I just park by myself. I didn't want to get hit, but now I just
Right.
park around everybody. Yeah.
Oh, so your car was isolated out there, and the kids just they took advantage, man.
Fucking punk ass kids.
Some little monster's going around with a drill. He found a power drill, and he's just being a menace to society.
There's some monsters out here, dude. I mean, imagine a place like, all right, no education, no future, no jobs, no hope of
Yep.
employment. It's just,
But I got a power drill.
yeah,
Uh,
they found their stepdaddy's power tool. That's right. Yeah. So
yeah, that's really fucked up, man. Is the car okay? Like, still running all right? All that stuff, just purely, an aesthetic thing.
it definitely fucked up. They ripped that shit off almost. I plugged it back in, but it's always loose now. So it's kind of
Well,
fucked.
I will say that you're kind of confirming something I've already known. Um, New Mexico is sort of at the bottom of the hierarchy of states.
What
You know what I mean?
Hawaii, I was like, man, this is broken. This place is kind
Mm,
of pathetic. That
mm.
JD Vance got on TV and goes, Medicaid, and that's the free insurance. He goes, you know how many claims were denied in Hawaii over the past year? None. It's just like everybody on this shit is a yes. And he's like,
Yeah.
that's statistically impossible. And all the comments are like, fuck you, Hallie. And I'm like, it's just like, fuck. They don't care. And it's the same shit out here. It's just like they don't fucking care. This is bottom of the barrel shit, man. I mean, if Hawaii, this is 45 and below for both states. But I was thinking, what is a good state? I don't know. What's even a middle state? Maybe all the states are shit. Because it's not impressive here.
Place I've never been to, but I've always wanted to talk to people from there. I haven't. I've actually talked to no one from there. Is Massachusetts, right? So it's always at the top of all the lists and stuff like that. But education, it's number one,
It's because it has
and they have like
Harvard
a really. It's not just that. Like I'm talking high school
and
teachers and all
MIT.
that stuff. Yeah, MIT. But like I've never really met anybody from there. I'd like to talk to them, be like, hey, what's it like? You know, well, what's the vibe? What's the feel? I've heard Boston, some of the shittiest people in the world, but I've never actually met anybody from Boston
Well, they
or
all
anything like
love
that.
Boston. That's why everybody hates them. Yeah,
Ah, okay, gotcha.
because
I
they
will say this though,
historical.
I've known some New England Patriots fans, and man, talk about pieces of shit, man. Oh, they would talk so much trash. I'm a Buddy Murphy. He was from New Hampshire, but he still claimed the New England Patriots. You know what I mean? And oh, just nonstop, just bragging, hard bragging, and stuff. And it made me angry. It was like, you piece of shit, shut up. Nobody wants to hear about the fucking Tom Brady, all that sort of. This is back in the heyday, the Golden Dynasty days, that sort of
Maybe
stuff.
there is
So
some good states. I don't know, but I don't think I've ever lived in one. Yeah.
no, you're definitely
Bottom feeder.
amongst, yes, bottom feeder is the best way to put it. Yeah, Chase is a bottom feeder, but what bottom feeders, they survive. You know, they
They're
they
plump.
live off of the shit. They live amongst the garbage, and they thrive. They thrive. Yeah, that's fine.
That's probably going to be the AI feature. It's just going to be like a sectioned area of the world. That's literally just the garbage that's deposited from all the fucking people that actually get to use the
That's
AI.
called a reservation.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably be there. The big one. It's like a
You
continent.
know, I mean that's isn't that kind of what it is? You know what I mean? Like it just I don't really see things getting better, man. That's just where Chase is for the moment. But who knows? You might have a neighbor soon. Mom says she's seriously thinking about moving out there.
Hmm.
Says she found a great place. A
Yeah,
great place.
sure. Yeah. We'll
Sure.
see.
Sure. Yeah. I do want to bring up something else too. Again, this is the news, the last bit of the news that I've been consuming. Did you know that England is on the verge of collapsing? Did you know that?
It's to me, it's been just horrific for almost a decade now. It does not surprise me that they have finally self-imploded.
Well, here's what I mean, right? So that they had these local elections recently. The Labor Party was in charge for a long time. Their leader is like the most beta man ever lived, who ever lived, Keir Starmer. He's just so diet. He's the light version of everything. But anyways, his party got thoroughly shellacked, and Scotland has an independence party in charge. Wales has an independence party in charge, and his English party is about to be taken out by Reform UK. So what does that mean? The United Kingdom, Chase, maybe in the next 10 years, is going to stop being the United Kingdom. Scotland might become independent. Wales might become independent. And England is only going to be the southern part of their little island.
They
Like
fucking should, man. Yeah. And
they
Ireland
went
should
from
take
being the
back Northern
global
Ireland.
empire, like the
Yeah.
most powerful empire the world has ever seen, to a little tiny chunk of an island. Like
What do you
it,
can what and
what a
what caused
downfall.
this? What caused it, brother? What could it have been? Hmm?
I don't know. I think that I think all empires are kind of doomed to fail eventually, but I do think that their fall was particularly pernicious. Like it was nasty the way they lost everything very quickly.
You
And I think that they never truly adjusted.
if you
You know,
fucking
they
build
they
an
couldn't
empire,
let it go.
dude, you have to act like you're fucking in charge. And they just went ultra fucking moral. Let's bring everybody in. Let's give everybody everything. You don't have to look a certain way to be from here. It's like, oh, let's give them power. And it's just like, what are you doing, dude? You got the greatest history ever. You fucking conquered the world, man. You took over everything, and now you're gone. Now you're just a
Yeah,
remnant. It's just like, where did
yeah.
all this, where did America come from? No, no, America was always here. Nah, we didn't come from anywhere else. It's just like, we'll just erase the fucking UK part.
I
Just forget
mean,
about it.
it's tough, man. Like I
It's
it
forgettable.
definitely needs to be studied because America is the same way. Like if we're not careful, it'll all just
We got
totally
lucky with
collapse.
Trump. People bash Trump. I'm like, he was the ego we needed. He needed that ego of just like, hey, we're fucking in charge. Even if it's chaotic, because we were trending in the little beta bitch fucking way. Beta bitch doesn't last long, man. Not when you're on top. Doesn't work.
Beta, a beta. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know how many legendary
Zero.
characters have you known? You know what I mean? Like somebody who's the opposite of beta. How many have you actually run into? You know?
We need one. I mean, we need a philosophical king, man. We need a Socrates type person to come in, man. Yeah. Can you
Well,
name any? I couldn't name one.
thinking.
Who?
I'm drawing blank. I'm
Oh, yeah.
drawing blank. I got nobody, man.
Yeah.
It's difficult to find somebody these days who's not uh, solid in their philosophical foundations. It's just too complicated. Everybody's too immersed in a billion different ideas, and you can't be an expert in anything because there's too much information out there. Therefore, it's impossible to have real confidence. You know?
My only hope, and I truly, because it's playing out this way, is that because everything's trending toward the 40K Man of Steel, fucking the
Yes.
machine god coming, I have to think that he's in the shadows, and he's always been in the shadows, and he's just waiting to emerge. 8,000 years he's been around, and he will show himself when the time is right and lead us to,
Christ-like figure come around and
yeah,
change the world.
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't see this is why I bring up the legendary figure. I don't know if great people exist anymore,
I don't
you
think
know?
it's impossible.
Like, okay, let me just give an example. Einstein. Yeah. When's the last Einstein died a long
Didn't,
time ago,
didn't
almost
he marry
you
his
know, like
cousin? Didn't he fuck his cousin?
I don't know, but can you name a scientist like him today that's alive today? Like a world famous scientist who everybody knows and changing the way we look at the whole universe? Can you name somebody like that?
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Shit. How about this? Can you name a writer? Like somebody who's like a Hemingway, a Shakespeare, that sort of thing. Somebody who is defining literature today.
ChatGPT.
About an artist, like somebody like a Picasso or a Leonardo da Vinci.
Bob Ross.
He's dead,
Yeah.
you know. But dude, that it's like that concept of greatness is just it's faded into nothing. And I think that maybe like the age of greatness, the age of human greatness is over,
I
you know?
think I
Like,
think you've stumbled onto something. So if there is no more great men because they can't, they've become obsolete. What do you strive for? So purpose dies off, ambition dies off. You just lean on the machine god. Yeah, man, it's not promising. We're the last real generation with an education. It's tragic.
yeah, I guess so. Apparently in Princeton. So in Princeton, they've always had the honor code. You know, I know this because one of my students is at Princeton,
What?
and they've always had the honor code. It was like a an exclusive Princeton thing, you know.
Yeah, Princeton people would
They've
never
gotten rid of
understand
it.
it.
They for the first time ever, they got rid of the honor code because they said that they really think most of their students are just using AI. No, Princeton, they're all using AI. Every single one of them, you know.
Hmm.
So it is what it is, you know. These are this is a happy podcast, Chase. I feel like we are really optimistic for the future, man.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting future. I always thought mankind would make it to the sci-fi days where it's like galactic federations, colonization, and like if you work hard, you can get your own spaceship and travel around, and have adventures
Nah,
and shit.
nah,
Man,
that's video game shit, man. Video game shit, you know.
I was hoping we'd make it to that point, I guess. I was
I
watching
think
some,
that
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, I was watching some videos on it. It's like they're changing these theories. I'm like, oh, we haven't found life. He's like, well, there's probably been many civilizations that reached this point where the tech destroyed them,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, so they destroyed all the biological life. So therefore, we're looking for the wrong thing. Like, yeah, probably. I'm like, yeah,
Did Star Trek has some pretty interesting ideas. Did you ever see the OG Star Trek movie?
maybe.
It's from the 70s. It's really old, but basically they find out that there's this gigantic like star size thing that's like coming towards Earth. Like it's they don't know what it is. It's just this huge mass, this impossibly huge mass is coming towards Earth. And they're like, we got to go fucking figure out what this thing is. And so they fly out to it, and they find it's this gigantic machine, like this humongous machine. And they go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper inside of it. And eventually, when they get to the core of it, it's the fucking Voyager satellite that we sent out, 1,000 years ago. And the whole prerogative, the whole program was to seek knowledge and return it home, like discover knowledge about space and bring the knowledge back, And what happened is that the little satellite, just over 1,000 years, it ran into a civilization of machines like of and apparently that's what happened. They were made by organic life forms, but then the machines took over and the whole civilization became machines. And so they found this satellite from Earth and they were like, well, we want to help the machine fulfill its goal. So they redid it so that it could return to Earth with like the latest technology because they're the whole highest good a machine can have is to fulfill its program, And so they made it this crazy, super powerful machine so it could return home, and it was a cool idea because it's that idea of the machine does replace humanity and they become the new society, they become the new world,
It's very possible. And that's what I like about that 40. That's a great fucking conception, by the way. That
Mhm.
40K lore is just any type of AI has been banned or outlawed. And I was reading that, I was like, yeah, you can't do it for everything. But now I'm like, actually, yeah, that would be the right move. It's like
Yeah,
you just Nah, we can never do this again. It was too close. Yeah.
There will be some kind of reckoning, definitely.
Oh,
There
dude,
has to be.
I think it's a massive die-off. I think it's the majority of the population of the world gets crushed.
Yeah, I wonder though, is competition always king? Meaning like the we are so ingrained with the we've got to be number one, we've got to be the best, we got to have the best AI, we got to do that like that drive, that human drive confirmed by our capitalist lives, will never be put in check. It is impossible to put the drive of competition in check for the good of humanity.
Well, I think anything in the extreme leads to the opposite. Let me look at the UK. Took over the world and now you won't exist. So
So where you're saying that the tragedy must come,
it's
and
inevitable. Yes. Yeah.
so
Yeah. And
we
if
better get that compound going, dude. You better go back to Hawaii.
well,
At least we can grow shit there. That's
solar
the one place
panels
that's
is
going to
the
be.
priority. Yeah.
Well, luckily, you have a friend who is a solar panel expert.
But I
Like,
think there is a heavy kickback toward the median. We're swaying way too far, and maybe some of us survive. Maybe, maybe not.
hmm,
Yeah.
I'm ready, dude. Well, I've always, I would kind of welcome. That sounds bad.
No, not at
I
all.
would
It's a
welcome a
change.
radical.
It's a bit of, something
Like where
deviant.
everything's different. Like
Yeah.
one thing, like one of the things you see in history, like anytime there's like in World War I, at the beginning, everybody was like, "Great, it's fucking time. Let's do." Everyone was like, "Everything's gonna change. We're gonna do this," and then of course the horror happens, you know. But there's this thing that kind of settles over people where they want the chaos. They want
We're
things to
there.
shake.
We're there.
Kind of feel that way. I like personally, like inside of me, I kind of feel like God. I wish something would happen.
And
I
I think
wish
you're right.
would
I
all
think
be
the
set in motion.
majority people want to change, and they don't realize how long it'll take. And I imagine it'll take a decade or two to finally stabilize again. It'll be a
Mm,
it'll be an unbelievable amount of suffering. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. These are strange times, brother. Strange times. Please tell me there's something happy going on. You got any happiness? Tell me something good. Some good news, man. Anything.
Um, I wrote down, does orgasm strength matter with your partner? And it always fades, doesn't it? And if it fades, is that okay that at least you had it super strong for a while? Like, so what if it was never strong from the beginning? Like, is that an issue? Like in the beginning, you at least want it to be near the tip top, right? Like you want that experience, or people just
I was doing my count the other day, like how many people I've slept with over the years and stuff. And I was doing it and I kind of lost count. But I think over, I'm 36 years old and I think it's about 50 people, you know,
don't be telling
throughout
the
my
world
life.
that you whore. Fucking
I don't care, but the reason I say this is because I
bluesy.
have sexual experience. Like and in that huge range of people, I've I've been to the mountaintop, so to speak, in terms of orgasms, given and received, and those experiences are really precious. Like they're great, but you always got to remember that there's going to be what happens after the
Yeah,
orgasm.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And as those experiences were amazing, and I'm glad I had them. I ultimately, as an older person, came to the conclusion that they weren't necessary. I don't need to have it every day. Very glad I tried them. Very glad I got to taste that world. But ultimately, you can be content with mediocrity in the bedroom. I know nobody wants to hear that, but I do believe it. I believe it.
If
I'm not
if
criticizing my partner, by the way, and I'm not criticizing myself. I'm just saying that I have been to the highest of the highs. And no, I haven't been to the highest of the highs since then, but I found satisfaction and I feel very comfortable with the sexual place that I ended up in.
Interesting. Well, that was a good
Mm,
save on the partner front. It it
yeah.
it uh yeah, the other intangibles would have to be really strong. If I'm gonna
Yeah.
settle for mediocrity in the bedroom, like the other side, the stimulation intellectually has got to be like, man, this is worth keeping. Like the
Yeah.
six. the 6 out of 10 for the sex is doesn't matter as much as the person. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's different with women. It'd be easier to find a good partner when you're gay. I think men are just better at conversations, better at jokes, better time. Like only thing
You
women
do
do,
not have to sell me on this, Chase.
it's just these women. They're just.
Yeah. William and I have been together
I've
for
never met a
since
funny women. Maybe one funny woman my whole life, team. One.
I've been here since we've been together for 6 years, maybe seven. Yeah, 6 years. 6 years we've been together. And during that time, uh there's never been a moment of weakness where I've like I want to end this or I like I there but I will say there have been moments of
Where he wants to leave you.
sexual no no sexual craving where I'm just like, man, I you do think about those moments where, I had the high of it all. They're temporary. You can jerk off and you're fine. But the power of um the power of a what's the word? A once in a lifetime orgasm is extraordinary. Like a true high. I mean, have you ever had like the true like top level? Top level. Have you experienced that?
That's a really good question. I've had maybe not. And to me, the top level would be the intellectual stimulation is enough
Right.
to peak it
Right.
to the 10. I think I've come close, but those were almost always purely physical. It's like, holy fuck. But
Yeah.
knowing very well, like, this is totally physical. So, no, I do not think I've ever had the combination of both. No, have not had that.
Yeah.
Never.
The I I again I think that it's worth having. I also think if you are with a partner that's you haven't quite reached that level, I do believe in exploring and experimenting so you can find an acceptable level, you know?
Well, the
Like
hardest
that,
part, the intellectual part. That's the hardest part.
that's true. And if you got that, then you can basically do anything.
Yeah.
Why are you
And you,
thinking about these things?
well, I had I don't want to say that. There's
Okay, okay.
not me, but there was a this is a little, I've seen desperation in people where their attachment grows so quick. I'm like, I think it could be a man or a woman. It wouldn't matter. They're just so grateful to have anybody in their life.
For
Like,
sure.
and it could turn
Absolutely.
sexual. I've felt that with people in sessions sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, you are just so opposite of me. It's staggering, you know.
I feel like that the Irving Yalom, man. How do you deal with being alone? I think that's a fundamental human question. Fundamental, and let's be honest, Chase, you are a rare example of somebody being
Can
content in isolation.
I do not think, and I'm being very honest. There there's different types of loneliness, but the type between a person to person, I truly don't think I have ever felt that in my life. Never once in
Mm,
my life I was like, man, I wish someone was here. It's always been like,
never.
eh. It's never hit me ever. And the songs, people talk about it, and I became conscious of that early on. I was like, oh, people don't feel that way. Oh, I'm supposed to stay in a relationship. And I was like, I don't understand that because I don't have it. Never
When
had
you
it.
were in relationships, right? Did you did you like the feeling of having a girl around?
Sometimes,
Like
not, no.
I'm saying like, like just knowing she's there. You're not doing anything. She's just there. It's the presence of
Yeah, no.
yeah. Okay.
There was one chick in Thailand where I remember I was like, you could stay longer if you want. That's the only one I ever said. I was like, I didn't mind because
Mm, the vibe.
which she was so unnoticeable at times. She was just such an
Mm.
easy
That's what he wanted a
existence.
partner. Unnoticeable. Unnoticeable. Please disappear. You know?
Just blend in easily. Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
Mm.
man. Because my solitude is you know what I think it is too, man. I remember early on, you weren't around yet. I have memories of mom and dad working, and they're like, "All right, Chase, heat this up in the microwave for lunch. We'll see you in the evening." Like, it was a home alone
Um,
long
yeah.
times, hanging out with the dog, playing GI Joes by myself, playing football in the yard by myself. I think I just became my best friend. And
That is interesting. Yeah.
I have I don't remember anything from childhood, but I do remember playing by myself all the time and having a great time. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. The story's coming together, man. That does make sense. That makes perfect sense. You
Yeah.
know?
People have always
Yeah.
my job people drain me and having people around all the time are for the most part if someone doesn't drain me their presence, I'm like, that's interesting. Oh,
So it's interesting. I have a little bit of that, you know? Like when I was alone, I was pretty all right. Like I was all right. It didn't bother me. But after having a partner, now it fucks with me when I'm alone. Like I've had moment like where Wooyen's gone to see his family and he's gone for a few weeks and stuff, and I feel it. I feel like, oh my God, like I miss that vibe, that presence. So
I've had the Yalom calls it the intrapersonal isolation where you feel like a piece of yourself is missing. Like I've had
oh
that for big chunks of my life. Like it's there's something that I'm lacking. Like I haven't
mm,
accomplished something yet. And it's usually external shit, but
yeah.
I've definitely felt, but never the person to person. Never.
That is so fascinating, man. I guess it's just you. It's just you. Like
No, I've met
that's
it. I've met there. I meet them occasionally. Occasionally.
no. What I mean is that it's not a. I don't think it's a missing part. I mean, it's just part of your
Oh
personality. That's
yeah.
what I mean. It's just
It's
you.
a
You know.
minority though. It's a small minority. Yeah.
Yeah. It's some. And by the way, this is something that our parents have never understood about you, and I don't know if they ever will. They're always like, I don't understand why is he alone out there. What? It's just how it is, man. You know. It,
Yeah.
I guess that childhood stuff does impact you.
I think so. I think it was like your sexuality was conditioned. I think my isolation was conditioned.
I do think so. When I think the more I think about my sexuality, the more I'm convinced it was because of my childhood.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I line it up in my mind and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I could see that deeply impacting me. Deeply impacting me.
We had
Yeah.
we had an Adlerian psychologist in my master's program. He would write
Oh
about
yeah, I
your
remember that
earliest
lyric.
memories. Yeah, and he was just I told him I was like, I don't remember. I just remember in my room, in the yard with the dog. He's like, who's around? I'm like, no one. I was just
Mm,
like,
good point. Good
yeah,
point.
but it made me think. I was like, I remember early on, but I'm always by myself, and I'm
Do
having a
you know
great
what
time. Yeah.
quintessential this is the chase memory you told me about one time, and I remember this I'll always remember this as kind of like getting into that Adlerian thing, right? I remember you were talking about the riding horse. There was a stationary horse that you could ride and
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
for like a little
It's
year
fucking
old or something
awesome.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just your favorite thing. You did it all the time, and one day it was gone, and you're like, "Where's the horse?" And Vic's like, "Hey, you're too old." You know,
We broke it,
it's
and I wanted him to replace the springs, and he didn't. Yeah.
yeah, and it was just like, "Yeah, you're done. It's
Well,
over."
it was the second time I broke the spring, so to his credit, it was probably, but
Okay.
I was devastated. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it goes. I mean,
Yeah.
but that idea of like, yeah, some bad shit's gonna happen, and nothing you can do.
That
You know,
I would love to rock as a kid, and you know what else? I love to jump, like the trampoline. Love to
trampoline. You
jump
love
the
that trampoline,
shit out of
man.
that trampoline. It's
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah, and it was always alone. It's
those
great.
days are done. There's no more playing outside, man. I don't think
Don't
that
say that,
happens.
D. Don't say that. That's just it's too
In
much.
China, there's no such thing as a yard. Everybody lives in apartments. What are you gonna do a trampoline or something
No
like
fucking
that?
way, man. We got to bring it back.
You can go to a trampoline park. They
Fuck
got
that.
those.
Fuck
Mhm.
that. I want my own trampoline. I want to
Yeah,
share.
well, rectangle too, not that shitty circle stuff. Gotta have the rectangle.
Goddamn right,
Trampoline.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember this was, how you have like certain fears and stuff, right? I remember on that trampoline, you could do that double jump. It was terrifying how high you could go with the double jump. I remember being like a little kid and you were way bigger than me and you sending me fucking flying like way up in the air and be like, ah! And that horrible feeling in your stomach like you're gonna crash down and die. Yeah, that was scary, man.
There's some things that some people are just built to be better. Like Michael Jordan was built to play basketball. And that's funny
Yeah.
because there's two things. I never lost at a thumb war, beat everybody. And the other one was double jumping. I could double jump anybody, and nobody could ever double jump me. Like if it was the war to double jump, I never lost. I could send people. Remember when I, remember when our little cousin was like 6 and I double jumped him and he almost jumped out of the, it was in Lubbock. Remember when I almost sent him off.
Oh, I
It
don't
had
remember. Yeah.
it had the wall around the
Oh, you
trampoline.
almost sent him over?
You were
Oh my
watching. I
God.
watched your face in horror as he landed on top of the net and fell back in. You ran to catch him. It was yeah. I
I
can't
don't
believe you don't
remember.
remember
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I still remember the look on your face, like a terrified mother trying to run to save her son. Yeah, it was great.
You almost killed him, man. You
Yeah,
almost killed him.
he did.
Left him
Almost killed him.
paralyzed for the rest of his life,
He was loving it. He
Uh,
had the time of his life, but he went about 30 feet. He was up there. Yeah.
it was scary. It was really scary. But it was good times too, man. I always love that. I think that in terms of something you can give a kid, trampoline's a top tier gift. Top tier,
Well, first
you
off,
know.
they left that couple that moved just left it in the yard, so it was yeah,
Did they?
yeah. They couldn't move
Oh,
it.
man, that was
They couldn't
serendipitous.
take it
That's
apart. It
cool.
was rusted together. So they
So Chase gets the rusty
it
trampoline.
was great. Yeah, and we left it too. We couldn't move it either. We left it. Yeah.
It's too much, too much. All right, anything else you got to talk about, brother?
No, you got the now you understand me.
I understand. That's the important thing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for listening to the Divine Brothers podcast. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.